Did you ever think how AIs in EU5 would perform if you created lucky nations? Just like we had lucky nations in EU4. Well, I'll tell you one better. What if we make them more dynamic than EU4? Because in EU4 there were some until 1700 and some before 1700. What if we differentiated the lucky nations for each of the ages? And for each of the ages we created also unlucky nations. Well, this is exactly what I did with my friend modder for EU5. We just created a mod called Lucky and Unlucky Nations. You can check it in the video description, where we implemented all of these modifiers for the lucky nations, stuff like cabinet seat, cabinet efficiency, bonuses to your ground power increase, interest, manpower, army stats, overall growth of the country, but also modifiers for unlucky nations, which are not as powerful as the lucky ones have, but on the other way around. And as you see, we've got it differentiated for each of the ages. So for example, in Age of Renaissance, we've got lucky nations: Ottomans, Muscovy, Austria, Portugal, Castile, Hungary, Ming, Poland, Lithuania, Sweden, Timur, Malin, Majapahit. While for the unlucky, we are having Byzantium, France, Bohemia, Yuan, Golden Horde, Mamluks and Delhi. And you see, this is differentiating for each of the ages. This is pretty much still like just release mod, so feedback is well welcomed. And what I'm going to show you today is how AIs actually react to these modifiers. I will show you one time lapse, then we're gonna walk through like what are the final results of the time lapse, and after that I'm gonna play you a second time lapse so that you see two different examples of that. And after that second time lapse I'll not do any explanations, just play it. You see, even France being unlucky nations in the first two ages, they still grew a lot, but not as much as in the second game you'll see soon. Great Britain expanded really nicely and even formed, and so did Sweden. That's the stuff that we'll also see in the second game I'll be showing you later. Bohemia, even when unlucky, they expand, but maybe not as much as in vanilla. Poland survived, but nothing impressive, and Lithuania, even being a lucky nation, see, this is not enough for them to survive against Kiev. Moscow is definitely a nice thing to see, especially with them colonizing Siberia. The only reason they did not form Russia is that they did not own Novgorod, which is a requirement. Ottomans expanding very nicely to two Sicilies. They start with some holdings in Albania, but too bad they did not push them back. They didn't because they allied each other. We've got Mamluk that expanded Iraq, but nothing besides that. And here not much, honestly, happening. Huge Somalia, but obviously they did not receive any bonuses. We've got Punjab formation, so that's a nice one to see, and so is Big Vijay. Yuan, I think there's a problem in the current patch, at least maybe with some mods with China, which is just staying AFK for the whole game. That's what also happened here, but at least it's nice to see Manchu, which should be also visible in the second game later. This is first time I've seen it since like pre-release patches. Nusantara actually got formed by Majapahit. Amazing view, and Ottomans actually colonized Australia. How about the New World? If you look at the cultures, you see it's Portugal colonizing Brazil, so great. Castile, a bit of Argentine. We've got France in Colombia, we've got Castile and Hungary in the Caribbean. Also Castile very much dominating historically North America, except Canada in the 13 colonies, which is an English domination with a bit of Sweden. Well, yeah, I think this is not bad. Obviously, the mod does not affect stuff like AI is doing border gore or AI is being overly aggressive in the early ages. But with the fixes to these things, I think the mod is gonna have actual bright future. I'm really looking forward for how it's gonna be impacting this. Let's just also take a look at the highest incomes. We've got Great Britain, Ottomans, Hungary, Vijay, Castile, two Sicilies, Korea. And these guys in the New World actually have over 10,000 as well. But yeah, now I'm gonna play you a second time lapse where you can expect Russia formation for the first time in a long time to be seen. Also very rapid early Ottoman expansion, and then you'll see what happens. But definitely fasten seatbelts, let me know what you think about the mod and check in the video description and pinned comment, and enjoy the second time lapse. Bye.